Picture Guide to the Dissection and Study of Avian Anatomy consists of 1,045 labeled digital dissection pictures in PowerPoint files. It is intended to be used with Digital Guide to the Dissection and Study of Avian Anatomy, a digital text. This guide is split into 10 parts, or 10 picture files, and I'm going to show you examples from each one. Part 1 contains 87 pictures, and it is essentially directional terms and avian osteology. Picture 1, we have a chicken skeleton from a lateral view, and we see some basic directional anatomical terminology. In picture 4, we see numerous bones labeled on the skull of the bird. In picture 61, we have a dorsolateral view of the mantis illustrating the various bones that comprise it. Part 2 consists of 127 pictures. The main things that are covered here are the external features of the bird, feathers, legs and feet, the wing membrane and associated vessels, primary flight muscles, and some basic anatomy of air sacs. In picture 89, we see the chicken head from a lateral view, a cadaver. So we see the comb, nostril, earlobe. The rictus is basically the angle of the mouth, if you will. And then down here, of course, is being reflected by the large set of forceps is going to be the wattle. In picture 182, we have a ventral view of the right wing of the chicken, and we see it's been skinned and the wing membrane essentially been removed to expose the basilic vein, which is also known as the wing vein, and is a primary site for venipuncture. In picture 200, we have a deep dissection of the pectoral muscles. The main pectoral muscle has been cut to expose the underlying supracoracoideus. I believe that this muscle is where your chicken tenders come from, and then we see the clavicular air sac also in this image. In part 3, we have 103 pictures. Essentially, we're studying, this is a survey of the oral cavity, neck, main body cavity, and detailed dissection and pictures of the avian heart. In picture 224, we see a right lateral ventral neck exposure on this chicken. The pins are deep to the right vagus nerve, and then we have the right external jugular vein, which is also a potential site for venipuncture in birds. In slide 251, we're on the interior of the main body cavity. Here we see the heart with the fibrous pericardium. We see parathyroid glands and then larger, more distinct thyroid glands. Picture 257 is of a removed duck heart where all the major external features can be seen. Part 4 contains 123 pictures and essentially is covering the digestive and female reproductive systems. On picture 327, we see the interior of the esophagus and also the bilocular crop in this pigeon. In picture 352, we're more farther caudally within the interior of the body. We see the oval to round shaped spleen, the gallbladder, this is the stomach, so gizzard and proventriculus, and the cranial part of the duodenum. Picture 363 is a high magnification area of the oviduct of the hen, and in this one we can also see the infundibulum and the opening into it. In section 5, we have 123 pictures basically covering the male reproductive system and the urinary system. In picture 444, we see the avian testicle. We see the left ductus deferens. Up here, although it's not labeled, will be the epididymis, and then we also see the ureter. Picture 501 is a high magnification of the phallic organ of the mallard duck. It's being extended, and then we can see the left and right fibrolymphatic bodies, making up the substance of the organ. In picture 506, the abdominal organs have essentially all been removed, save the kidney, avian kidney, which we can see here, and in this case the pins are outlining the cranial part. So the kidney, cranial part, middle part, and caudal part of the avian kidney. Part 6 contains 96 pictures of cutaneous muscles and muscles of the trunk and wing. In picture 565, we see pins deep to the constrictor coli muscle. Note this is parathyroid glands right here in the neck of this bird, so it's a relatively young bird. Or excuse me, thymus gland along the neck of this bird. Sorry, not parathyroids. In picture 588, pins outline the superficial portion of the serratus. In picture 616, pins outline the extensor metacarpi radialis muscle of the wing. Part 7 contains 90 pictures of musculature of the trunk and leg. In picture 668, the pectoralis has been cut and reflected to better illustrate the supracoracoideus muscle. In picture 697, pins are deep to the iliotrochantericus externus. In picture 737, we have pins outlining the lateral head of the gastrocnemius. In part 8, we have 95 pictures of musculature of the leg. In 766, we have a high magnification image with pins deep to the terminal tendon of the long digital extensor. In picture 794, pins are deep to the superficial digital flexor of digit 2. In slide 828, or picture 828, we see pins deep to the long digital flexor muscle. Part 9 contains 100 pictures of the head, neck, thorax, abdomen, tail, and cloacal muscles. In picture 849, we have pins outlining the external abdominal oblique. Picture 892 illustrates the intertransversarii muscles on the right side of the neck. In picture 904, we see the depressor mandibularis muscle. Part 10 consists of 101 pictures, and it's going to get into more of a discussion or illustrating the subdivisions of the main body cavity, and then also a little bit on air sacs. In picture 978, we have a high magnification of the interior of the main part of the body cavity. We see cranial thoracic, caudal thoracic, and right abdominal air sacs on the right side of the bird, and then the black arrows indicating the edge of the subpulmonary cavity. In picture 1016, we have the intestinal peritoneal cavity that we're investigating, and also we have opened up the abdominal air sac on the right side.